Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. I'm Brendan Smith. I'm the Arts and Humanities Manager for the City of Takoma Park. This is the latest event in our Takoma Park Art Series, which includes free concerts, theater, poetry readings, art exhibitions like the one out here in the atrium. You can get more info in the brochure here or go to takomapparkmd.gov/arts. Our next event will be April 10th, Capital City Jazz Band. So be sure to come back for that. And if you weren't able to donate to We Are CASA on your way in and you feel like doing it on the way out, there's a cash box and a QR code out in the atrium. They also have a table there where you can sign up for their e-newsletter, get some more resources along with Crossroads Community Food Network and a few other nonprofits. So thank you all again for coming out tonight, and I'm going to hand things over to Takoma Park Poet Laureate David Alberto Fernández, who put this whole thing together.
Thank you. So I don't have to tell you all that we live in a very talented, eclectic community, and I am honored to be the Poet Laureate for this community because we are something else, and I'm glad to be here. I just want to have a couple of housekeeping announcements before we begin. First of all, we're all among friends, okay? We're here to enjoy ourselves, to find sanctuary, to relate to each other, and it's not like this is supposed to be enjoyable and fun, okay? Again, to me, poetry isn't something that's just on the printed page. It's a language of the heart, and we're here to share that. So I want to also make this as participatory as possible. Now, you see I have a whole stage full of really talented people, but at the same time, you're a part of this too. If you look on the corners over here, we have little pieces of paper. As we proceed through the evening, if you have a feeling of sanctuary or refuge or santuario that you want to put it down and put it in that little bucket over here, this little poetry bucket. And when we're done, we're going to have a little jam at the end, and we will read all the stuff that gets put out there, okay? So don't think of this as just something that the audience is here and we're here. Part of the fun was that we're going to try to break down the barriers of audience and person. So we're doing this for CASA. We Are CASA does incredible work for the immigrant community, as you all know. A round of applause for CASA. I want to introduce Angelia Amaya from CASA to say a few words about the good work they do. And then once we go there, we'll have a little sanctuary talk, and then we're off. Angelia, wow, there you are. This one's on.
Hold one? Good evening, and thank you all for coming out. It's so well appreciated. I'm actually a newbie at CASA, so I have my little script in case I go off script. I'm not new to CASA, though. when they initiated themselves some 40 years ago. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that out loud. I was one of the couples in the basement of a church with my then husband getting services. So I've come back home. So thank you for coming home with me. As you know, CASA is about serving and working with and helping immigrants. But what we do is we empower immigrants and we empower the working families to protect themselves, to advocate for themselves, to support themselves. We're not giving handouts. We are member-led, and our members, they advocate and fight for themselves. So when you all donate, when you give your time, your talent, and definitely your treasure, you're helping them be more impactful and live more meaningful civic lives in this country. So I'm not gonna go on because as you can hear this music back here, my hips wanna start swaying because I am a salsa dancer. So I'm gonna turn it back over to David, and we're gonna get this sanctuary program started. Santuario por Todos.
Sanctuary isn't a dirty word. Like many of the words that we've seen under this administration, things have changed. So beautiful words like diversity, equity, inclusion, access, okay, which are beautiful words. Sanctuary is another one of those beautiful words. And part of what we're doing tonight is reclaiming words, reclaiming cultural spaces, okay? When we started to put this together, I went to folks who I respect very much in DC, and I said, hey, you know, what should we do? You know, we should have a cultural change in this country, a cultural shift. You know, we're getting this drumbeat, this negative drumbeat of BS every single day. How do we take it back? And they said, if you want a cultural revolution, get busy. So we're here to get busy, folks. I'd like to introduce Elana La Fulana. She's a Latin Grammy-nominated artist, very, very talented. She's going to bookend us in this Sanctuary event. But welcome to Sanctuary. Know you're among friends, and let's have some fun.
Good evening. I thought we'd start with a song about being an immigrant. This one's called Amor Migrante, and it's about an immigrant mom who comes to the U.S. in search of a better life to give her son a better life and ends up leaving him behind to do so. And there's a part in the middle where I would like for you all, I'm just going to teach you a part. It's very easy, but it goes like this. It's just a clapping part. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. All right, keep it going. Keep it going. Great, 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 great. We're going to do that in the middle, okay? I'm going to say, hey, and these guys are going to do some breaking down. Sound good? These are Los Locos, everybody. Give them a round of applause. And I don't know if I should say this, but we haven't played this song together, so we'll see how this goes. Hey! Nice. Yo te amo de lejos, aunque no lo puedas sentir. Can I get more guitar in the monitor, please? Deje el nombre mi patria junto a Dios, qué triste sufrir. Quiero darte razones. Por mis grandes traiciones, por ti me fui, de ahí te Nice job, everybody. Thank you for participating.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to do a sequence of 3 poets, okay? And we're going to try to alternate the mics. When we originally planned this, we were going to do it seamlessly, people setting up. But, you know, things change and we have to kind of roll with things. So, I want to introduce Consuelo Fernández, Ofelia Luya, accompanied by Leon Mejia, and Rosie Prohias Driscoll. And they'll just come up to the mic when they're reading, but just to kind of get us, Elena started us and now we get into the poetry, okay? Oh, now we get into the poetry. Consuelo. Eh? Ellos van a encender. It doesn't matter. Let there be light. A little more light.
Good evening, and thank you for being here. I was trying to select the best topic to read a poem today, and with all the things that are happening around us, I think I'm going to read one about love. Love. Love is a bridge. Love is a bridge over the solitary river, hurtling across ravines, an arc gleam interrupting flows, an intrusive wind into virgin fields. Love is a bridge towards life, is an eye between reality and reflection, a passage between slumps, bonded by an unpredicted wind. It is a kiss of 2 strangers jumping for joy. Let's be bridges again on the span of embraces. And from the handrail, let's raise a song that melts the fog and demolishes walls. And as in the beginning, let's offer our bodies to the rituals of Eros. El amor es puente. El amor es un puente sobre el río solitario, sorteador de abismos, reluciente arco interruptor de flujos, un viento intruso en espacios vírgenes. El amor es el puente hacia la vida, es un ojo entre la realidad y su reflejo, un paso entre barriadas unidas por un viento inoportuno. Es un beso de 2 extraños que saltan de contentos. Volvamos a ser puente en la rampa del abrazo y desde el pasamanos elevemos un canto que derrita la bruma y derrumbe las murallas. Y como en el principio, ofrendemos el cuerpo a los ritos de Eros. Gracias.
Buenas noches. He escrito este poema en español justo para esta noche. Por favor, ¿podrían darme un poquito de luz? Gracias. La poesía me ha abandonado. Los versos de dulces amores me han abandonado. La poesía se ha negado a salir de mí y me ha dictado versos que incomodan. Ensalzado en tu efímero poder, me desprecias por foránea, olvidando que tus raíces tampoco están en esta tierra que generosa adoptó a tu madre. Sintiéndote de raza privilegiada, elevas tu ego por encima de toda razón y te disfrazas de monarca, dueño del mundo, dueño de todo. Sin embargo, más he aportado yo, pagando mi derecho al trabajo, más has tomado tú, acumulando tu fortuna, más he construido yo, sacrificando hasta mi hambre, más has destruido tú con tus decisiones. Tu tiranía separa familias, pregonas que estorbo. Entonces, siendo así, remueva con tus manos las nubes congeladas del asfalto, que te sangren las venas construyendo casa ajena. Quiébrate los huesos en una caída y levántate a seguir trabajando. Sopla las hojas de otoño con el viento en tu contra, cosechando que el agua te falte, cosechando en julio. Siembra tu propio jardín, bebiendo agua salada de tu frente. Llora, llora sentado en la banca, esperando el bus de febrero. Susurra tus penas a desconocidos, que nadie te abrace en Día del Padre, que el teléfono te diga Feliz Navidad. Trabaja día y noche, arregla el caos ajeno, y si eres profesional, trabaja doble para que se te reconozca. Manda a tu hijo a la guerra, reza sin cesar por su retorno, y si aún te queda aliento, abraza a los míos. Gracias.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. Tonight I'd like to share three poems. The first two seek sanctuary in memory, and the third one finds it in language. Spring rain on Elkin Lane. A drizzle of rain falls on Elkin Lane. A trash truck is parked across from the 7-Eleven, where the driver has stepped in to stock up on bottles of water and 99-cent pupusas. His two compadres, clad in neon yellow jackets, pass the time, passing a soccer ball someone's child grew tired of. They erupt in belly laughs when one kicks the ball too hard, sending it soaring into a neighboring yard, fragrant with fresh mulch and budding blooms. Smiling, the receiver runs to retrieve the wayward ball, retracing por un momento, los pasos que tomó de niño en San Miguel, then returns and kicks la pelota back to his compadre, who picks it up with loving leather hands that toss the ball into the grating jaws of the truck as the driver, provisions in hand, shouts, "Apúrense, cabrones!" climbs into the cab and drives away. The second poem is called I Walk Through the Native... Thank you. I walk through the native plant sale at Mount Vernon. In September, joining flower enthusiasts and gardeners intent on tending their plots with plants that grow naturally, with no history of human introduction to our Northern Virginia ecosystem. I read the signs. Blue false indigo, Baptisa australis. Native perennial, full sun to part shade, well-drained soil, beautiful indigo blue flowers in late spring and early summer. Larval host plant for multiple moths, skippers, butterflies. Swamp milkweed, Asclepias incarnata. Native perennial, plant in full sun, medium to wet soil, rose pink flowers mid to late summer, host plant for monarch butterflies. At Mansion House Farm, the gardener was named George, like the man who owned him. Likely, he nurtured these same flowers, although, unlike the blossoming blues and pinks, he was not free of human introduction to the upper garden. Transplanted from land where heart roots clung to cleaved earth, now buried deep among furrowed rows of feet pointing toward the river, ready to spring back home. Bones among bones, harvested marrow, seeds scattered survive to fertilize the red-streaked soil, bloom brilliant vermilion, become larval host for butterflies. Thank you. And the last one, I'm obsessed with roots, you'll see. The root of kindness. I dig for the root of kindness and find kin. Knotted veins of shared blood pulsing, red and rich, deep beneath the surface of soil, so parched through days of drought and doubt, so thirsty for rain to sustain the memory that we are one family tree. Thank you.
No, I'm not going to sing anything. For the next round, we have Lilo Gonzalez. We're going to have Javier Vilcapoma, Alan Abrams, and Camilo Montoya.
Muchas gracias. And thank you, Tacoma, for becoming a sanctuary city in the 1980s. Thank you. I came in 1981, as a refugee from El Salvador with no paper. And when I heard about the news, and I want to just thank Sam Abbott, who was the mayor at the time, Reverend Phil Wheaton, who used to live, and Reverend Scott Hagler, who just passed away, So that's amazing, And this song is basically a few stories, a couple of stories, but the main one was, I went to, when I became a temporary resident, when I get my temporary resident card, and I was working at the Latin American Youth Center, and I went to a conference in Tucson. The immigration stopped me in St. Louis. I was so nervous. So when I went to the hotel, I couldn't find my green card. But basically, when I went to the hotel into the conference, I went to the bar. I was nervous. Got a shot of tequila, And after that, talking with the person next to me, after like an hour, he said, "Man, when did you cross the border?" And I said, "Well, I crossed the border in 1981." And I asked him, "When did you cross the border?" He said, "Man, the border crossed my land." He belonged to the Yaqui Nation in Arizona. So the border just passed, and we have Mexican Yaquis, and I'm from Arizona. Yo salí muy temprano para no despertarlos, para que no lloraran, para hacerlo más suave, para hacerlo mejor. Una mano en el pecho, la otra con el pañuelo, hilvanando los sueños, sin pensar lo peor. Manuelito despierta y me dice, mamita, ¿cuándo regresará? La respuesta no es fácil, la estrategia se rompe, se plantea. I didn't cross the border, my friend. The border crossed my land. Don't be afraid, mi hermano. This land is yours and mine. No me jodas, paisano. This land is yours and mine. Yo pasaba los años celebrando cumpleaños en la esquina de la Mission, y al fin regresé. Ya no habían amigos, unos se habían ido, los desaparecidos, los que sueñan con él, los que vienen de abajo y que importa un carajo si no saben leer. Ellos son mis hermanos, lo más puro y más sano, los que cortan café. I didn't cross the border, my friend. The border crossed my land. Don't be afraid, mi hermano. This land is yours and mine. No me jodas, paisano. This land is yours and mine. Esta tierra es tuya, esta tierra es mía, desde California hasta Nueva York, desde los bosques hasta los mares. Esta tierra es tuya y mía también. This land is your land, oh, this land is my land. California to New York Island, from the redwood forest to the ocean water. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking the Ribbon Highway, I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw below me the Golden Valley. This land was made for you and me. Español, esta tierra es tuya, esta tierra es mía, desde California hasta Nueva York, desde los bosques hasta los mares. Esta tierra es tuya y mía también. En inglés, this land is your land, this land is my land. California to New York Island, from the redwood forest to the ocean water. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Salí para Semana Santa, abril del 82. Aún llevo el olor a incienso a mi pueblo y su dolor. Aún llevo el olor a incienso a mi pueblo y su dolor. Deprisa sin un adiós, sin plata un pantalón, pensando volver muy pronto a mi pueblo El Salvador. Pensando volver muy pronto a mi pueblo El Salvador. No human being is illegal, te lo digo, compañero. No human being is illegal, que lo sepa el mundo entero. No human being is illegal, te lo digo, compañero. No human being is illegal, que lo sepa el mundo entero. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Takoma Park, for your solidarity. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Mira, solo quiero hacer una... Perdón. Aquí tenemos a alguien de Takoma Park Peter John
Peter Jones.
escribió esta canción. Solo voy a hacer un pedacito. Preciosa. Elise, ¿sí me ayuda? Especialmente ahora, con todo lo que está pasando en el mundo, y perdóneme, me da tanta
perdono.
tristeza, tanta muerte, ¿verdad? Es triste lo que está pasando y necesitamos juntarnos porque somos la mayoría los que queremos la paz en este mundo. You cannot stop the cloud from fall. You cannot stop the rain from falling. And you cannot stop the river from rushing to the sea. And you cannot stop the people fighting to be free. Single drop of water can dry up in the sun. A trickle can be soaked up by the ground. Adam can hold the river back for just a little while, but nothing stopped the water pouring down. Can you help me? And you cannot stop the cloud from forming, and you cannot stop the rain from falling, and you cannot stop the river from rushing to the sea. And you cannot stop the people fighting to be free. Thank you very much, and thank you to the musicians. Gracias. Sorry for taking longer. Gracias.
We're going to count that as a Peter Jones song. We're going to count that as a Peter Jones song, right?
Yes.
So we're good, right? We were right.
Thank you.
So, Javier? Señor?
Can I unplug?
So we'll have Javier, and we'll have Alan, and then we'll have Camilo.
Buenas noches. Gracias a los programas académicos que ofrece el CASA, me desempeño en esta tierra con un plus en el ambiente laboral. Gracias a la vida académica que tuve en mi patria, les voy a leer los versos dedicados a los migrantes. Fluye así. Nosotros, la música de nuestros pasos en la sutil oscuridad del invierno perturban el sueño de las avecillas en los árboles sin vestidura. Mientras la luna platea la mañana, vemos el horizonte por donde venimos y despertamos McDonald's y 7-Elevens, camino a nuestro espacio laboral. Las propinas arrancan una sonrisa en congéneres que dulce nos ven, las colillas de sus ojos migrantes y sus ojos susurran frases de aliento. El sueño y el calor se quedaron en las casitas que guardan en silencio nuestras penas, alegrías y dolores, y afuera somos la roca más fuerte. Se olvida el dolor por la esperanza, por el que muchos no tocamos la puerta. La multitud hace el bien al que cobija, el mal lo mínimo, pero resalta más. Nosotros en la cita somos primeros, el alto mando inquieto y altruista, oraciones de seguridad verborrea y librar gastos al justo empleador. Nosotros tomamos las vías al norte en son de paz e ilusión económica, a la vuelta del antecesor que no dijo cómo se llenan los bolsillos aquí. Si la nieve nos llama, ahí estamos. El viento, la lluvia o la tormenta no amilanan nuestras almas. son piedad que quieren llenar nuestra bolsita. La noche lúgubre entre la soledad calman nuestros suspiros y dolores, que la naturaleza del frío y el calor horadan nuestro cuerpo trabajador. Los fierros reciben nuestro cariño por ser cómplices de nosotros. Su frío es vencido por los guantes y el calor por la tela más sencilla. Nuestra bondad altera el ambiente, pero el frío congela más la comida. El calor agrega sabor a nuestra sazón. Así calman el hambre de pan y café. Nosotros dejamos huellas imborrables en las vías y los edificios y los parques, pero el disfrute es del que nació aquí, sin valorar de quién lo dejó así. Algunos frutos que llegan como tal, quizá por el cultivo o el tiempo, y se resalta más lo putrefacto en él, y nos separan sin distinguir el bien. Las cuentas crecen y salda el dolor, el sudor. La fuerza suma en este esfuerzo. No se amilana el buen migrante. Próspero camina, pero en el temor. El auto, el teléfono, buscan los bolsillos, cuentas que obligan el contexto, llenando las arcas de los ruiseñores que vuelan alto. Gracias a nosotros. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Takoma Park. Thank you, CASA. These two poems that I'm going to read come from my career as a builder, where I became acquainted with the immigrant community that became the backbone of the construction industry. Worth bleeding for. In the beginning, that first steaming bucket of earth, its damp perfume, like what the Lord enjoyed on the second day, its resonant whoomp on the bed of the empty dump truck, and soon the sweet fragrance of a rich batch of concrete rattling down the chute. Even as it cures, comes the tack-tack-tacketing nail guns and the banshee skill saws, backed by a chorus of generators and compressors. Vaporized pine resin from a blade spinning at 4,400 RPM stings the eyes like turpentine. Kwamp goes a sheet of plywood flopped on naked joists. Offcuts clatter, kalunk-kalunk, onto the plywood deck. Kalukshish, a man on stilts, slinging joint compound. He is graceful and he is fast. Piecework makes the day fly and can make you some good money. Roofers, they drive the newest trucks. Don't begrudge them. No work is more dangerous. And electricians, they may be prima donnas, but one mistake and it's all up in flames. Never call a plumber a brownie dipper unless you want a lesson in respect. Many strong backs, twice as many skilled hands, so few they belong to have names. But let us remember some of the best. Flacco, Orsi, and his brother Alex. Johnny the plumber, and Fred the painter. Big Mike and his young hot-headed partner Marvin, who made sure you knew he was packing. Once amid that joyous cacophony, I heard a man call out to me. "What?" I said. "What? I can't hear you." "I'm hurt," I finally heard him say. And then I saw the blood seeping through the leg of his pants, reminding us to use a sawhorse and not your thigh. We all shed our blood, some more than others. When Big Mike was killed, Marvin raised his 3 little boys. Any project worth doing is worth bleeding for. And because we're here in support of CASA, this poem is about an an alumnus of CASA back when they were on Piney Branch Road in a little trailer. In most respects, you see them everywhere in clumps of 5 or 6 at the 7-Eleven, exhaling steam, hands jammed deep in pockets, collars turned up, whole bunches of them at the Home Depot parking lot, where the asphalt might be 160 degrees, their desperate eyes seeking yours as you drive past them, looking for a closer spot. In the afternoon, when they've given up, they hang out in the shade of a big gum tree, drinking bud paid for by someone's woman who cleans offices at midnight. The younger ones are nearby playing football, stripped to the waist. Once in a while, one of them gets lucky, climbs into the cab of a pickup truck with a sandwich in a paper sack. He runs the jackhammer you rented for 6 hours straight, cutting a trench for a sewer pipe through 40 feet of solid ledge. You pay him cash, and you ask him, can you find your way back tomorrow? 3 decades later, his daughter, a dreamer, is finishing her degree in accounting. And he's driving past another 6 guys with a load of studs for his own project. Legal in most respects. Thank you.
I remember when they came in, the sound of the boots as they walked up the steps, the whole building shook. We heard that loud banging on your door over and over again. Mama's phone started ringing. It was your mom. She said, ¿Qué hago? Se lo van a llevar. They're gonna take him. I ran and looked out the kitchen window, and there he was. Truck dream ended. Later that day, my parents took your mom to the station, and you stayed back with me. I still remember how you looked me in the eyes and you asked me, ¿Dónde está mi papá? And I didn't know what to say. It's been 7 years since this happened. You are now the same age I was when it did. And I still don't know what to say. Because one summer night, tu papá ran a red light. And today, 5 men with green vests sent him back to El Salvador. And maybe I'm too young, or maybe I'm just too angry, but I still don't know what to say. But every night when I'm driving, at every stoplight, I think of you. I think of you. I think of your mom. I think of your brothers. I think of the car you left behind in the parking lot, and how no one came to get it. Thank you, everyone. Un aplauso para los locos, por favor. My name is Camilo Montoya, and you can find us on Instagram at loslocos.dc. Thank you.
Poetry, it's the language of the heart, and it's universal. Camilo, thank you, man. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Another round of applause, please, for Camilo and Los Locos. Awesome. So for the next round, we're going to have Arsen Sumbatian and Maria Getahun, Caleb Wissaker-Cohen, and Baba C.
So this company, do we have sound? Hello? Do we have sound? No.
Sound? I think try now. Try now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening. So this composition is going to be a rendition of the Devi prayer, the prayer to the Divine Mother, the protector, the nurturer, for the sense of peace and acceptance of circumstances.
Lali I have 2 poems to read. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
The first one is called Rain. A single drop of rain fell from the sky. Alone it flew down and down, followed by another drop and another, until the torrential downpour rushed through the gutters, washing the streets of trash and all the other sins of humanity, except those hidden from sight by stone walls and shingled roofs, erected by men in exchange for money. That first lonesome drop was no longer so alone as, joined by an orchestra of its kin, it swept the city, soaking all it touched. A single stray cat ran through the streets, not at all pleased with this awful, all-encompassing wetness, which left her fur soaked and her paws shivering, restless, and slipping on each cobbled stone, dripping with breathless and uncaring liquid. Finally, she found the blessing of shelter under a great oak, whose trunk spun up towards the sky and whose branches stretched boundlessly outward as a bud flowering would spread itself. But the space near the trunk was dry, so the cat took a breath, resting her eyes, and drifted off to sleep under this grand oak. The oak paid the little shivering cat no mind, not that it could have done anything one way or another, even if it had such an inclination, or even could truly have inclinations. It just let the life-giving liquid seep through the soil, absorbed through its roots, giving it the strength to stand another day. When the storm died down, the cat thanked the tree thanked the rain, and the rain thanked nobody, of course. It was just rain. This one's called The Fire of Man. A fire burns, a tire turns, the liar learns to speak distorted truth. The misguided youth listen, society transitions. To feed on these charades, conspiracies of men who see themselves as more, tyrannies are bred from weak men's allure. Once the liars learned and once society has turned, the truth will not be heard, but the fire still will burn. Thank you.
I almost changed my last name to Kellogg's. Good evening. I am Baba C. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging. I am bragging, but I am the Guinness World Record holder, Baba C, griot and master storyteller. I was in Marrakesh, Morocco, in Africa. I have to say that because the last time I said I was in Marrakesh, someone said, is that in Minnesota? No. Where I have to do a short version, we broke an old world record and established a new one for telling the longest, continuous, uninterrupted storytelling session in the world. We did over 80 hours. That's 3 days. That's 3 days, 8 hours, 26 minutes, and 32 seconds, but who's counting? And no, I didn't do it by myself. There were about 100 of us, and we did it. I'm going to change things around just a little bit. We talk about sanctuaries, we talk about discord, we talk about the underlying frictions between various people. But we have to understand why people fight. We have to understand why there is discord. And I hope this short story will give you some insight on this. This story, when it was first told, was told a long time ago. You can clap, I like that. Clap or throw money, but if you throw money, make it to paper because those coins hurt. So in this story, there are two animals. Animals were the first people on the earth. And one of the animals stutters because people stutter. It does not make them less than. So it was a hyena and a rabbit. And one day the hyena and the rabbit were walking through the bush or the forest or the jungle. And the rabbit had just come from a place. I don't understand. Why do people fight? I just saw two best friends fighting. I don't understand why. And the hyena said, you don't understand. You don't understand why people fight. Come with me. Come with me. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you why people fight. And so the rabbit followed the hyena to a trap that had snared a deer. And he undid the trap. And he threw the deer, well, he dragged the deer, because deers are bigger than hyenas. He dragged the deer through the forest down to the shore. And at the shore, he saw a fisherman's net. And he pulled the net in. He dumped all the fish out. And he put the deer in the net and put the net back in the ground. And then he gathered up another net and he dragged all the fishies back to where the deer had been ensnared. And he turned to the rabbit and said, you want to know why people fight? You want to know why people, I'm going to show you why people fight. I don't understand. I don't understand. You just watch. You just watch. And so the hunter came back to get the deer he had ensnared earlier. But instead of a deer, he saw a mess of fish. Now, for you who are not from the South, a mess is almost more than you want to cook and more than you can eat. All right. So the hunter said, someone stole my deer. And then he saw the drag marks on the ground and he began to follow them. Meantime, the fisherman had pulled in his net, and instead of fish, he saw a deer. He said, someone stole my deer. And he saw the drag marks on the ground. And so the hunter and the fisher were following the drag marks on the ground, and they came and they saw each other. And the hunter said, you stole my deer. And the fisherman said, I did not. You stole my fish. You stole my deer. You stole my fish. And the next thing you knew, fists were flying, blows were being dealt, and they were fighting like two tomcats. Well, that's another story. They were fighting. And they were fighting and fighting and fighting. And the hyena turned to the rabbit and he said, no, now do you understand? Now do you understand? And the rabbit said, yeah, I think so. See, the essence of the story is, the reason why we need sanctuary, the reason why we have to come together, the reason why, regardless of what your background is, what country you come from, what community you live in, the reason why we have to come together is because fights start over misconceptions. Fights start over by one person blaming another person when they could just as easily work together. Asante.
So folks, is it good? Are you enjoying this? Yeah? Good. I want to introduce Jennifer Cutting and Lisa Moscatiello. I want to invite them to the stage. And after them will come David Camaro. But unfortunately, I've been sitting on the poetry bucket that I mentioned. I'm going to put it out. So if any of you feel inspired, have any words that you want to share, write down. There's some pens, there's some pieces of paper and pens. But in the end, enjoy it, absorb it. Thank you.
Testing 1, 2. We're on. We need a mic. Can you hear me yet? Hello? Hello? Got a mic yet? Paging bien, the sound man. Paging bien, the sound engineer.
You can do this one. We're going to need both.
Is it there?
Testing? Okay, we're back. I want everybody to give a big hand to the man behind the sound and light board, Bien.
Yeah, Bien.
Thank you, Bien, for giving us sound and light. So, hey, everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Lisa and I are so happy to be part of this gathering celebrating the concept of sanctuary, which is what this is tonight. And we want to thank Takoma Park Poet Laureate David Fernández for inviting us to be part of it. Thank you, David. My name is Jennifer Cutting, and this is Lisa Moscatello, and we are your neighbors here in Takoma Park on Hickory Avenue and Cockerell Avenue. And we've lived here for a very long time, all of our adult lives. Tonight we'll be singing in Spanish for the very first time ever. So, bien, if I could have just a little more light up here, that would be great, because we need all the light that we can get singing in Spanish for the first time. And Spanish is one of the beautiful languages that is spoken by the folks that are assisted by the good folks at We Are CASA. So we sing in Spanish out of respect. So I was thinking about sanctuary, and the first thing I thought was, sanctuary can take so many different forms. Sometimes it's a place, like a church or a temple or a mosque, or a place like Takoma Park, which is a proud sanctuary city. But sometimes sanctuary can be a fragrance. For example, my aunt was an Avon lady. So when I smell Avon perfume, that is sanctuary to me, reminds me of my childhood. Sometimes it can be a taste of a wonderful thing that we ate as a child, or a familiar thing. It can be a touch that carries us to that safe place. And sometimes sanctuary can be a song or the sound of a voice. When I was a kid, one of the voices that made me feel safe was the voice of Joan Baez. My family had her 1974 album, Gracias a la Vida, which had this very beautiful, well-known, familiar song on it called De Colores. And we have added our own sanctuary verse in English at the end. The words for verse 3 will soon be on the screen. Are they up there yet? They will be. Do you all know the words to, say, the first two verses of De Colores in Spanish? Please sing along with us. We'd love to have your voices in with us. Can you see, Lisa?
A little bit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. De colores se visten los campos en la primavera. De colores son los pajaritos que vienen de afuera. De colores es el arco iris que vemos lucir. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. De colores brillantes y finos se viste la aurora. De colores
son los mis reflejos que el sol atesora. De colores se viste el diamante que vemos lucir, y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí, y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí.
Everybody sing along.
Sanctuary, the most beautiful word in a language's vocabulary. Sanctuary, it's a longing for safety and peace that all travelers carry. Sanctuary, it's our port in a storm and a place we can live without fear. It's a city that welcomes a stranger to keep them from danger, and that place is here. It's a city that welcomes a stranger to keep them from danger, and that place is here.
Gracias
Thank
a
you
los
very much.
locos. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, this is part of my repertoire as performer actor. I usually play around the neighborhood, and then I teach art and creative movement. It was my first poem I learned when I was a kid. A la sombra de una sombra quise un rato descansar, ser la brisa, ser la alondra, soñar sueños sin soñar. Y fue entonces cuando un duende, un bufón, o algo muy similar, me preguntó si tenía para poder almorzar. Si es asunto de dinero, no le puedo a usted ayudar. Solo tengo mi sonrisa, se la puede usted llevar. It is from Rubén Darío, one was my favorite, absolutely my favorite poet, El Caso. Un cruzado caballero, garrido y noble garzón, en el palenque guerrero le clavaron un acero tan cerca del corazón que el físico al contemplarle, tras verla y examinarle, dijo: quedará sin vida si pretende sacarse el venablo de la herida. El caballero garrido, triste, noble, desangrado, después que tanto sufrió, el caballero murió, pues el físico decía que en dicho caso quien una herida tal tenía, con el venablo moría, sin el venablo también. ¿No comprendes, Angelina, la historia que te he contado? La del garrido garzón con el acero clavado tan cerca del corazón. Pues el caso es verdadero. Yo soy el herido, ingrata, y tu amor es el acero. Si me lo quitas, me muero. si me lo dejas, me mata. Lo hago en mimo, también lo hago en mimo, mitad mimo, mitad. Bueno, para terminar, para cerrar, esto es un poema de un venezolano que yo admiro mucho y que conocí en París, y él me enseñó a través de la poesía rendirle un homenaje. Yo creo que está muy actual para la situación que está pasando ahorita en Venezuela, la incertidumbre que tenemos. Entonces, dice así, el poema es Rafael Calcaño. Venezuela, escucha firme la voz del renegado. Muchos burbujean de orgullo a cacarear tu nombre. Tus insípidos premier y tus acaudalados ministros, los hurracos, generales, policías del Ateneo. Dostoyevsky dio a luz a un idiota. Tú pariste millones. Acorazado el gesto y las turbas chavistas, perdón, chauvinistas, mequetrefes del bullicio. Madre patria, me desfago en tus chulos. Thank you.
So you see, we aren't kidding in terms of the amount of talent that we have all around us. And that talent's in the audience too. I mean, we have an incredible community, and it's an honor to be your poet laureate. Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me do this. And hopefully we'll have more of this, because we do need a cultural reset. So Bill and I got together back in the summer. We were just sort of walking around. I ran into Bill, and I've known him from another life as a soccer dad here in Takoma Park. And we were saying, hey, where are the artists? Where are the responses to the things that are happening? You know? And we started talking. We started something called Vocal Takoma, which we do. We started it in November. We do it at the Clock Tower on Sundays. Stop by. We stopped for the winter time. It got very cold in December, very breezy and horrible. But we will resume again in April. Come on a Sunday. Bring your stuff, bring your spoken word, bring your poems, bring your songs, bring your music, bring yourself, and we'll be there, and we can share stuff, and we can continue to do stuff. So,
Yeah, the idea, hello. The idea of Vocal Takoma is to bring art, in our case meaning songs and poetry, to where people already are. So usually we find enough people on a Sunday morning near the farmer's market, and we sort of plant ourselves in the middle of them, and we do our thing, just to show everyone that artists are doing something. I would be remiss if I didn't give extra shout out to David, who I've been really, besides being a friend, I've really been impressed about how he's been using, leveraging the Poet Laureate status to really get poetry and art out there in new ways and exciting ways, instead of just resting on his laurels. So, you know. I mean, including platforming all of these people that are on the stage right now. I mean, this was David's brainchild.
But the talent is there. The talent is there, you know? Yeah. Anyway.
So David and I have worked on a way of combining my songs and his poetry, and which is usually kind of difficult to do. So we had an event recently where we were supposed to do a kind of combined thing, and we didn't want to do like, okay, you do a poem and then I'll do a song and vice versa. So, so we worked on kind of merging them, and we're going to give you a little taste of one of those now. So it's a combination of my song called Echoes and his poem called The Furthermost. The Furthermost. The Furthermost. Yeah. So Echoes of the Furthermost. All right.
Llegamos lo más lejos que podríamos y aún volver. Ya, hasta lo más lejano, nuestro puesto de avanzado al fin del mundo conocido. We did go as far as we possibly could go and still make it back. To the furthermost, our proud outpost at the far end of the known world. Cuando él habló, entramos entre desfiladeros con las rocas, cuchillos en nuestras piernas. When he spoke, we went into the mountain gaps, rocks as knives in our legs. Miramos para arriba a pájaros como señales, heraldos de lo porvenir. Con sorpresa los afilados picos y garros, arrancando la carne de huesos humanos. We looked up to birds for the signs, as harbingers of what was to come. With much surprise then, watching beaks and talons rip meat off of human bones.
I send my soul a mended heart. I know there'll be a place for us to start anew. I couldn't without you. From the shore through a forest of fallen gods, is this the only path for us? A way to pass through on our way to you. I see only winter. I see only skies of gray. I can't let go.
Perdimos parte, la mejor parte en sí de nosotros, que sucumbieron a circunstancias tristes y trágicas. En pasos altas, una visión de blancas calaveras ahí. Nuestros amigos, compañeros, ahora no más parte del paisaje. We lost a part of us, the better part of us, that succumbed to sad circumstance. In the high passes, a vision of bleached skulls there, our friends, companions, now part of the landscape.
I count my loves, then count the stars. How to count the ways of ours, the ways we made do. Wind and rain, hair on skin, the seasons change. I know the touch of you above, a sound that rings true. Feels sky taste dew. I see only winter. I see only skies of gray. I can't let go. Echoes of summer, echoes that fade underground. I can't let go.
Empujamos al mar como lo próximo, recuperando la memoria de mareas y de corrientes. En esta aventura olvidamos mucho más que conocimos. Encontraremos todavía caminos ya adelante. Los mejores no van de regreso para Babilonia. Push to the sea next to regain our memory of the tides and the flows. On this adventure, we've forgotten much more than we ever knew. We will find a way forward, the best ones not going back to Babylon. Thank you. And now I want to introduce another co-conspirator in the Vocal Takoma project, the very talented Corey Sesnick. Corey?
Thank you very much. Thanks, David. Thanks, Bill, for having me. It's full of gratitude for being here. I am a temporary resident of Tacoma. I mean, I guess we're all temporary residents in some shape or form, but maybe more so in my case. I'm here for a little bit. I'm normally based in France. That's where I live with my family. And yeah, we're all going through a lot, aren't we? So I was kind of wondering what song to sing, and then this one song that I wrote some years ago came up. We're looking for the people who are helping us find the way out of the storm. This is called Trailblazer, and you can sing it along with me. I know there's a participatory dimension to this, which could be good. The chorus, I'll briefly play. Let's see, let me do a quick sound check. Can I just get a little bit more on the monitor? Thank you. So it goes Trailblazer, Protector, Creator. Protector's a little shorter than the others, so just be mindful of that. All of a sudden it was crystal clear. We're gonna lose all that we hold dear. The apostles are following that shining light, reaching for answers in the astral heights. Gotta get clean in the face of the lies. Gotta do what's right before we say goodbye. Trailblazer, you never play what you do. It's always next in line, shows it to be true. Be the folly that becomes a norm. You see the light in the middle of the storm. Be the folly that becomes a norm. Who sees a way in the middle of the storm? Trailblazer, protector, sees a way in the middle of the storm. Now, next time you'll get it, right? Everyone sees what they want to see. Corrections made where it's easy. All we need is a good clean fight. Man's just got to demand his rights. But what are rights when everything's lost? Keep pushing that line until there's nothing to cross. A searching for a journey from this world to the next. In the belly of the woods, it changed my flesh. In the shimmering lake, my soul was burned. The wheels of the land are about to turn. Trailblazer. Trailblazer. Protector. Objector. Objector. Let's do it again. Who sees a way in the middle of the storm? One more time. Trailblazer. Protector. Protector. Objector. Objector. Who sees a way in the middle of the storm?
It looks like. Hello, hello, test. Mike. It looks like nobody took us up on the offer of giving your words, so we'll have to take your silence as complicity in what we're doing. In what we're doing. Elena La Fulana, come up and close us out, or at least come back and give us some of that beautiful stuff. And guys, a big round of applause to Elena and to Los Locos, who have provided the thread throughout the whole evening, which has been beautiful. Thank you.
Well, thank you. This has been a wonderful night. Give it up for everybody up here. But we gotta leave on a empowering activist note, or I wouldn't be in Takoma Park. So I'm gonna teach you a song that I wrote during the elections, not these last ones or the ones before that, but the ones before that, where I was getting really depressed. I grew up in Nicaragua, but I live in the States because I feel like as a woman I have a lot more opportunities here. And so I started writing this song because I felt like maybe this country was changing in that way. And then it just became my kind of justice anthem. So this one's called Ponle Fin, and I'm gonna ask you all to sing in Spanish with me. So let me teach you the part real quick. It goes like this. I'm gonna say, Ponle fin, pon fin. You say, a eso, ponle fin, pon fin. A eso, ponle fin, pon fin. A eso, ponle fin, pon fin. And what we're saying is like, put an end or a stop to that. That's what you're saying. And what are we saying stop to? It's racism, sexism, homophobia, and all that other stuff we've had to be dealing with way too much these days. So now that we know what we're saying, let's try one more time. Ponle fin, pon fin, a eso, ponle fin, pon fin, a eso, ponle fin, pon fin, a eso, ponle fin, pon fin. And Los Locos are gonna do a great job backing me up, even though we never practiced this song. You guys ready? sean duros que maltraten. Yo no puedo aceptar esas cosas, yo no suelo conformarme. Y'all ready? Y dice, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin. ¿Cómo dice? Ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin. Another breakdown. Nice. Hay personas que quieren decirte a quienes tú puedes amar. Y después te llaman pecadores por quererte bien casar. Inmigrantes viven con horror que los vengan a deportar. Y los negros de la policía que los suelen fácil matar. Eso, vamos todos, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin. ¿Cómo dice? Ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin a eso, ponle fin con fin. Eso. No a el machismo, no a la explotación, no a la homofobia, no te digo no, no a la intolerancia, no a la deportación, no a el racismo, no te digo no, resiste, no a el machismo, no a la explotación, no a la homofobia, no te digo no, una más pues, no a la intolerancia, no a la deportación, no a el racismo, aquí va, no a Donald Trump. Give it up for los locos. I'm Elena La Fulana, thank you. Thanks for coming out and supporting.
So folks, until next time, support local artists, support all these talented people that are in your community, that are in the audience too, that just aren't coming up here. So until next time, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Take a bow.
Thank you.